first government Azad Hind Sarkar, I said no. Even among the congressmen, there is none to match him. And I asked the question, Gandhi, and there I said, please don't forget, he is the first congressman who in the Calcutta session brought an amendment to Gandhi's resolution of dominion status of complete independence. And what did Gandhi say at that time? India is not ready for complete independence. Can you imagine that? The Indian revolutionaries had been fighting for long for India's independence. We had 1857 as the first war of independence. Bengal lit the flame of revolutionaries in this country. Maharashtra lit that flame. Punjab lit that flame. And here is a leader who calls himself the leader of the masses. He is saying that India is not ready for freedom. And that made me think to some other people may say it conspiracy. But if you look at it, what was the Congress demand when Congress was formed? Give us jobs, give Indians representations in the council, give Indians representation in the ICS service, in municipalities. These were the Congress demands. And when they talked of dominion status, and it's an irony of this country that what the Congress was formed initially to demand from the British, Congress ended up with that in 1947. And how? I will explain that. We have been fooled for last so many years that we got independence on 15th August 1947. Just Google it out, Google out the London Gazette, and you will find King George VI abdicates the throne of India on 22nd June 1948 only. Every document mentions dominion of India, dominion of Pakistan. Premier of Indian dominion, Premier of Pakistan, dominion of Pakistan. And if we were independent, then why in March 1948, when Rana Gopalachari was to be appointed as the Governor General of India, Nehru, on his behalf of his cabinet, sought the approval of George VI to appoint Raj Gopalachari as the second Governor General of India. And the third and the most crucial aspect, name me a country in the world which has been exploited for about 175 years by a foreign country whose resources have been exploited. They have carried massacres in India, they have blown people with guns, they have killed people, they have tortured people, they have sent people in exile, they have sent people to Andaman jails. And the last representative of that country, Lord Mountbatten, overnight we make him Pandit Mountbatten in 1947 by making him the first Governor General of India. Somewhere the Congress party has to answer this question. And not only this, so many things happened in relation to INA at that time.
First, let us complete that dominion.
Okay.
Volume 2, in volume 12 of Transfer of Power, there is clearly written on 47th, 15th August, not independence but dominion status. If you go UNO formation in 1946, not in 47, and India is a member of the UNO not from 46 August but from 46. How India is a member of that UNO, and in the volume 12 of the Transfer of Power clearly written, this India after 47 August is continuing the membership from before the partition of India. The membership of this country in UNO is the membership of the British India. and clearly written all the rights and responsibilities and liabilities of British India will have to be continued by this partition India whose capital is Delhi.
Dada,
Rights and liabilities.
not only this, even the membership of the Commonwealth, when the Commonwealth Prime Minister's meetings takes place in London,
Yes.
it was our Constituent Assembly which was supposed to debate and decide on it.
Yes.
And earlier people had rejected it.
Yes.
And Nehru in that got a declaration
In
made
advance.
in advance that India will be a
What is
member of
passed
the
there?
Commonwealth and all, and then comes and pleads there.
In
and
the parliament he cried,
And
do you think I am a traitor?
that's how I got it done. So, and today a youngster asked me a question. Why did Habibur Rahman go to Pakistan?
Yes.
I said none of these wanted to go to Pakistan.
Yes.
I have documentary evidences that 30 INA prisoners released in Karachi, they are all Muslims. The Muslim League went to them. You join the Muslim League. And they said no. Our orders were, if we fail, you go and support Gandhi.
No patriotic INA soldier was liked by Nehru.
And why Habibur Rahman? Not only Habibur Rahman, Kiani went, many others went. Because if you will recall one of the broadcasts of Netaji from Berlin Radio, where he says that this is not just the army of India's liberation, but INA is going to be the future army of India. And then he asked people to give their lives, and he says that each one of you who martyrs, his life in this struggle, a memorial will be made in his name in India, and people will shower flowers on him. And what's the memorial we made? Patel agreed. Patel was in favor of taking INA into the Indian army. But the great Nehruji, under the influence of Pandit Mountbatten ji and Auchinleck, they did that whole scheme. And the worst part was, I found a document very recently in the files, last week only, that the INA, when this 16th August speech is given by Nehru in Red Fort, people generally take it that it was on 15th August. It is on 16th August. And all the INA personnel demand that they should be inside the Red Fort when this flag hoisting takes place and does that. And both Mountbatten and Auchinleck tell Nehru that this is not possible. And they are not allowed inside the Red Fort.
And about 15th August,
They remain outside Red Fort on 16th August, and inside, see the hypocrisy of Nehru. Inside he is lecturing, it would have been very good had Bose been here today. He wanted to come to Red Fort.
and
How many of us know, Dada, that on 15th August, even in Viceroy's Lodge, the Union Jack never went down. It was the tricolor which went up.
and the choice of 15th August was not by the people of this country.
No.
It was by the British. And why?
Mountbatten.
Yes.
15th August is the day when he takes the Japanese surrender.
Yes.
And he wanted to humiliate India at INA.
And to
Today
remind
it was
the
15th,
people of this
15th
country that
August.
on that day you are defeated. You Asians are defeated. This is our victory day in the Asian land.
He writes it very clearly.
This is
over.
humiliating
He
day
did.
for Asians, for Indians.
Because
That's why 15th August.
Why these issues, someone may say these are peripheral to Netaji. These are not peripheral to Netaji. Because Netaji did not sit on tables to negotiate independence of India or dominion status for India. Netaji did not sit on tables to accept the bifurcation of his motherland. He clearly makes a call. Not acceptable. No one can do that. Last time I quoted one of Muslim League secretary's words in Calcutta, when these protests started in Calcutta by students in November 1945 against the trials, and there was massacre. I think about 28 students died in police firings in that, and the Islamia College students had participated in that. But the Muslim League secretary goes to Islamia College, threatens these students that you are not going to support this movement, because if INA and Bose had entered India, what would have happened to our Pakistan demand?
Yes.
He didn't do that.
That's also in the autobiography of
He did that. And-
Bangabandhu Mujibur Rahman.
And there is another very interesting thing. This document also I'll reveal, and you will be surprised at this document. Two very interesting documents I have discovered recently. People till now only talk about this aspect, that how Nehru was made the president of the Congress, then to become the prime minister of that interim government. And only source available has been Kriplani's book, you see, no other document. Because in the AICC papers in Teen Murti, all these files have been destroyed. The working committee resolution, all others are available, except this, 46 April, and the letters sent to the PCCs for sending the names, and the letters sent by PCCs to request the names. You don't find any single file related to that. And this time I was crazy, you see, like a historian, I just went mad. Okay, we have to find something on this. Because I was doing this museums, writing the content for 5 prime ministers in this new prime minister's museum which is being built. So Nehru was one of them, which I was writing on. And just something struck my mind. Let me look at the Congress miscellaneous files. Because someone is destroying files. So I went into the miscellaneous files. And my scholar was able to find, she brought me those 3 letters. Sir, are these relevant? I jumped on seeing those letters. One was a press release signed by one Sajjad Ahmed, who was the secretary of the Congress office secretary there in Delhi, in which he says he doesn't know what has happened inside in the working committee. But he says 5 names were proposed. Kriplani, Patel, Nehru. And can you guess who were the other 2 names? Make a guess. Netaji. Netaji's name and Jayaprakash' name. Right. And then it says below, Subhash Chandra Bose's name was rejected because he had not filled the 4 membership of the Congress this year. And Jayaprakash Narayan's name is rejected because his name is not found in the list of delegates which has been sent by the Bihar PCC. So now these 3 are left, and either it will be election or whatever will be decided. The second document, very interesting document. It's a letter by a lawyer in which he says that Congress had closed its membership drive of 4 annas on 31st December 1945. And in March 46, Gandhi tells Wavell, don't talk to me, I am not even a Congress 4 anna member. Then how come Gandhi is chairing this working committee meeting of Congress in April? So Nehru is imposed, and very interesting further story people don't know is that the presidentship change was to take over in the month of November. But Gandhi arranged it to be taken in the month of May. Because if it had taken in November, then in June the interim government was made, so Maulana Azad would have been the first prime minister. So there are letters of Maulana Azad we traced written to Gandhi, that you have not trusted me. It's very interesting. And one more very interesting letter, I'll close this topic on that. I discovered a speech of Gandhi at a prayer meeting, 2nd June 1947. Because I am a historian, I have to give you the source. I don't fake documents, though the Bose family, some people tried me that I try to fake documents. And when I produced the documents in front of them, then they had no answer. So in this letter, in this prayer meeting, Gandhi says that people have been asking me that will there be a change of leadership in the Congress since independence is coming. He says no. And you know the ground he gives? A Cambridge-educated hero boy is required to deal with the British for some time. This great proponent of Swadeshi, who talks of the people, who talks of Indianness, when it has come to giving the leadership, he wants the leadership to be given to the top elite who are Cambridge educated and all. He doesn't want to give the leadership to the people of this country who have emerged out of the people leadership, which is a trend which I have always said. That among the peasant movements also, Congress exploited them, used them. Rajkumar Shukla lost, Baba Ramchandra lost, Motilal Tejavas lost. What action they did against Swajan and Saraswati. But in the Congress organizational hierarchy, it is only the elite which Gandhi wanted will continue over that kind of thing. So these things become very relevant to understand the character of that time, what Congress is thinking in that time. They talk of secularism. A party which agrees partition of the country on the basis of religion, with which face that party can claim that it was a secular party? Let any congressman answer me this question.
Very good, sir, very good.
And they all knew partition is coming. Nehru, see, Mountbatten came with this sole aim. Look at Mountbatten's journal, you know his diary.
Exactly, sir.
The first task of mine was to convince the leaders for the partition of India. And he says before he came, he went and met Churchill. And Churchill told him, you are going, don't forget my Muslim friends. And he said no. And another aspect closely related to this is, these people talk non-violence, make fool of us. Can you isolate the violence of 46-47 from the kind of struggle Congress led in this country? It was a logical outcome of that struggle. And weren't the indicators not there that what will happen when partition takes place? Had Noakhali not taken place earlier? Had riots in Lahore not taken place earlier? These people, what was the hurry? Okay, you are negotiating partition or you are negotiating dominion status. Did you ever negotiate? The lives of the people will not be affected.
Exactly.
Did you ever do that? You are only power hungry and power crazy. Humko power mil jaye. And that's why I admire Maulana Azad when he wrote in India Means Freedom that our leaders had taken a decision in favor of partition, but the entire country wept over it. This was not the country which Netaji thought of they are fighting for. This was not the country which INA thought of. This was not the country which Khudiram Bose or many other revolutionaries, from women revolutionaries, children to all, had fought for in this country. And that is why I say always that this song, De diya mein azadi bina teer bina dhal, Sabarmati ke sang tune kar diya kamal, should be banned in this country. Because this song humiliates and insults our all revolutionaries who laid their lives fighting for the struggle of this country in this country. हमको आजादी दी नहीं किसी ने. आजादी क्या पेड़ पे लटकी हुई थी और किसी ने उतार के हमको यूं दे दी और गिफ्ट कर दी, ले लो आजादी. जिस आजादी को लड़ने के लिए 1770 के सन्यासी विद्रोह से जब 100 सन्यासी को मारा था अंग्रेजों की ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने, ये देश लड़ रहा था. उस आजादी को ये कहते हैं गांधी ने आजादी हमें दे दी. और गांधी की नॉन वायलेंस, फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर यू सपोर्ट द ब्रिटिश, दैट इज नॉट वायलेंस, दैट इज नॉन वायलेंस. Boer War, you supported the British. That is, supporting a war effort is violence, is non-violence. Sending men to war is non-violence. Asking the men to recruit for the British army is non-violence. Whenever some revolutionary takes some action, he is violence. And even if a revolutionary gives his life in a hunger strike, Jatin, for 63 days hunger strike, it is Netaji who leads this procession barefoot in Calcutta. Gandhi doesn't comment, and when he is asked to comment, he says, don't ask me to comment, otherwise you know what I will comment. Did Jatin was firing guns? He gave his life through a non-violent method. So all this is a hoax. And sometimes I wonder, the way I said about the dominion status of the Congress, the way it was said that Congress is a safety valve, which Hume said that a safety valve is required to divert the heat generated against the British. This is what Gandhi was doing in terms of revolutionary movement, in terms of any other movements in this country, to divert that heat into this kind of a thing. Or otherwise, once in 1929, complete independence is passed in Lahore. There too, Bose went 2 steps further, saying that this is not sufficient. Please spell out the program also, by which program we will get complete independence.
Parallel government.
Parallel government. And what Gandhi says, country is not prepared for independence again. But when he launches the civil disobedience movement, then why that movement is not launched for complete independence of this country? When he talks with Gandhi, Irwin, where does that resolution go? Why is negotiating and talking dominion status again?
The more strange, in 29 Lahore, total independence resolution passed, and 31 Gandhian pact, Gandhi himself is telling for dominion status.
That's what I'm
How
saying.
much betrayal it is?
That's what I'm saying.
How many facet this person is?
I'll narrate a very other interesting incident to you in this. When I was doing my PhD long back, 76, so I came across a document. I was reading the oral transcript of an interview of Padmakant Malviya. He had joined Forward Bloc. So he says that Bose told me that Gandhi speaks lies. And he said, I fought with Bose. I have left Gandhi and I have come to your Forward Bloc and this and that, but I will not accept this that Gandhi used to speak lies. And he said, Bose, give me an incident to check. And I checked that. And I realized Bose was right. And the only thing there he mentioned was, check an incident related to Bengal. He didn't mention anything else. Now I discovered that incident, what it was, that when to stop Muslim League in forming the government in Bengal in 1939,
37.
38, after
37.
37, when Bose proposed, no sir, these are 39 letters, these are not 31. 31 Prajakrishna Party formed first.
But under the
In between.
Initially in 30,
Yeah.
37
So,
election Bengal, as per 35
Yeah.
British India Act,
Yeah.
there are three parties.
Yeah, three
None
parties.
is as a
None
majority.
is a majority.
There is a possibility
So,
of chance
Chale.
Congress
So-
and Social Party coalition.
So Bose
that was
went-
prevented by Gandhi.
Bose went to Wardha, talked with Gandhi, and Gandhi gave his consent to you form the government with the Prajakrishna Party. And then Bose started making that effort. In fact, had that been done, the history of Bengal would have been different. Then G.D. Birla and Maulana Azad, they went to Wardha, both of them. It is all recorded. And Birla pleaded there that it is against our interest. I don't know what interest he had, business or whatever it was. And then Gandhi wrote a letter to Bose, stop these actions. And that letter was personally brought by Birla to Calcutta and handed over to Bose. And Bose wrote back, saying this will be suicidal for Bengal. And not only Bose, Gurudev wrote to Gandhi, that this will be suicidal, don't stop this. But Gandhi won't agree. In fact, that is where one of the major rifts started at that time, over there. So, to keep a communal party out, you are negotiating with one party, but the Congress doesn't want to do that, which again proves a thing, that Congress hoax of secularism, as I said, partition they agreed. If they were secular, why did they agree in 1916 in the Lucknow Pact with the Muslim League on the seats reservation and all that? Why did they enter into a pact with Muslim League if Muslim League was a Congress party? Why did Congress enter into a pact in UP in 1937 before the elections? That whosoever wins, we will make a joint government in UP. And then they back out.
Today, whole of the Assam is in India only for Nehru. In 38, when Subhash Chandra became the Congress president, he went to Guwahati. Or not, at the time, Shillong was the capital of the unified Assam. There was the Muslim League government. Subhash Chandra arranged fall of this Muslim League government. And the independent MLAs, they withdrew support from the Muslim League government. And is sitting there, Subhash Chandra arranged for the government of this Bardoli government.
That's
Prime
good,
Minister.
because
That's why Assam is today in India.
That is very good in the sense
Bardoli.
because he didn't give much time to Delhi to intervene into that Gandhi from Wardha, otherwise that would not have been possible.
Maybe.
Because you know this aspect very well that in 47, When Jinnah demanded Calcutta, Congress was silent. When Suharwardi talked of total
Yes.
Bengal, they were silent. I don't know, I think that Suharwardi's lecture, someone has told your Chief Minister today. Maybe that she's thinking of that kind of a Bangla again
Yes.
in this part of the
And-
world.
and- And Nehru liked the Islamist people.
no, Nehru, you see,
Example is Shahnawaz Khan. In British records, you will see in the National Archives, Shahnawaz Khan, after release from the Red Fort, he was campaigning for Pakistan in UP and West Punjab, different areas. Actively campaigning
You
in the
see,
fight.
if I-
And that man is liked by Nehru
I
and
see,
made minister.
if I start giving you the scams, this man got a full village in the name of INA in Saranpur district and named it Netaji Subhash Nagar. So while making the museum, I went to that village, hoping that I'll find some INA families and all. So I'll talk to them, or maybe someone has some,
And the whole village is property of
items or some antiquities of INA I'll be able to collect to keep it in the museum. And to my surprise, it was only Shahnawaz form there which was linked to INA, but all the other families which were settled there had nothing to do with INA. They were those families which had been uprooted in Pakistan, but belonged to that area where Shahnawaz belonged to. So he got them settled as his own vote banks in that Netaji Nagar. So that's a very Vande Mataram issue, you see. When in 1937 Vande Mataram was sung in the assembly by Congress MLAs and Muslim League opposed to it, the whole case went up to Gurudev. So Gurudev and Nehru and Netaji, the three of them discussed the issue. And Nehru is all for its withdrawal. And Netaji wants. He says it's a communal demand. This has nothing to do with any other thing. And if you concede this demand, they will come out with another communal demand very soon. And Nehru doesn't agree, then ultimately that thing is taken that the first two stanzas will be sung. That is why the first two stanzas are sung and others are not sung. But how perceptive was Netaji when he said that very soon they will come with another communal demand, that within 2 years Jinnah comes with the demand of Pakistan. He meets Jinnah as Congress president, but he tells him that I can't take you as the sole representative of Muslims in this country. And look at Netaji's one other aspect. Beside Muslim League, he tried to mobilize every other Khaksars, Northwest Frontier Provinces aspects, Praja Krishak Party and all. Because this is again a very pertinent question to ask, that those parts of the country where the Muslim League could never make its dent, how those areas become so fanatic and went to Pakistan. In Bengal it was always Praja Krishak Party which ruled. In Punjab it was Unionist Party which ruled. It was only Sindh that the Muslim League had. In Northwest provinces never Muslim League ruled over there. And I have discussed, well, that's a different topic altogether, but anyway. So, you see, this again was the first by Netaji on Vande Mataram. People forget that as working in Calcutta municipality, he is the first who introduces the Khadi uniform for the workers. He is the first one who starts this education policies over there, milk policies over there for the poor. And he is the first who stops the British being called for functions in Calcutta municipality. People only talk that he was a Prakrami. I say he is a Prakrami in many areas, not just a Prakrami in war and strategy and all, but he is a Prakrami in many other areas. His vision, planning commission, he is the one who first talks about. Yesterday I got so agitated on the Lok Sabha TV when one of the, I don't know, called himself a historian, said that Bose announced planning commission and people got afraid that a planning commission meant bringing communism to India. I said, what nonsense is this? What are you talking about? He said, the problem is that people without reading and without doing anything, they start commenting. Now, if you look at other first aspects,
about planning committee, is the first to introduce planning committee in Indian history.
Yeah.
Planning committee, 1938, when he is the president.